Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I thought I'd kickstart it off by doing this gorgeous unicorn look on my friend Victoria. I'm just taking the Soap & Glory brown pencil in brownie points. I'm literally just filling in her brows. She's got really gorgeous brows anyway, so I don't really need to do much work. And then I go in with some MAC shadow in the shade Amiga. This is just to fill in any gaps that I've missed and just keep the eyebrows looking really soft. I'm using the Slight Cover Up in NW15 just to like white out the eyelid. This is going to be my eyeshadow base. I wouldn't usually use a colour this light, but because I'm using bright colours, I really want them to pop. I next go in with the MAC Single Shadow in Coral. This is a pro eyeshadow, I believe, so this one you can only get in pro stores or online. But I'm just kind of working on the outer third of the eye. So next I go in with a shade from the Urban Decay Electric palette. This is Jilted. It's kind of shimmery actually, but it doesn't show up too shimmery on the eyelid. But I'm just kind of blending that in on the centre of the lid using the brush that I used for the previous colour just to blend it along, and I just keep going back and forth just to make sure it's super blended and really blown out. On the inner corner of the eyelid, I'm using Filter, which is from the LIMECRIME Venus 2 palette. It's actually like a powder blue, but it shows up quite lilac on the eye, and I'm really building that colour up so it's really intense. And I'm pulling it kind of into the nose area because I know that I'm going to pull the cut crease along that way, so there needs to be shadow there. And again, I'm just using the brushes that I used before to go back and forth and blend it. I then go back in with my Slight Cover Up in NW15 to cut the crease. Now I do this really slowly. I cut a lot of this footage out, but I kind of cut both sides of the brush so it's really thin in the end, and then I start to kind of work my way up slowly, so I don't put my brush down exactly where I want the top of the crease to be, just in case I kind of get it wrong. So I kind of do a circle and then work my way up until I'm really happy with it. And then going in with the MAC pigment in Reflex Blue, and I'm really coating that on the brush and pressing it on the eyelid. Because I wasn't completely happy with the way that's shown up, I've going over with a little bit of Eldora Lash Glue, and then I'm going to press a Stargazer glitter over the top. There's no name on it, so I'm not sure on the colour, but it's kind of like an orange which reflects kind of greeny gold, and over the top of that blue it kind of gives that unicorn vibe that I was going for. I wouldn't use a brush that you care about for applying the glue because it is going to wreck your brush. Once I'm happy with all the glitter, I go in with a wipe and I just kind of clean up all the way around the eye. I did use a little bit of tape as well just to get the little stubborn bits off that I could see. I don't pull it all the way up to where I want the cut crease, I just leave it a little bit below for now. For the wing liner, I use the NYX Vivid Brights in Vivid Blossom. I love this eyeliner, but it always cracks on me. I think you're meant to apply a really thin layer, but I find that when I'm applying other glitter, I just want to use more just to make sure that it's really opaque and really neat. So you can kind of see it at the end that it's a little bit cracked. I really, really, really wish these didn't crack because it's such a gorgeous product. So now I use my wipe to take it right up to the wing. I do this really slowly because you don't want to cut off any of your blending. Victoria has really dry skin, so we're going in with some KHIELS Ultra Facial Cream. This is a really, really thick emulsive moisturiser and it's going to be a really, really nice base for the foundation just because she is dry. Now, because we are going for a unicorn glam, we want a really nice shimmery base. I'm using the Revolution highlighter drops. I think this one's champagne. I'm still not sold on these. They're great for a base, but over foundation, they seem to pick up the foundation, even when I use it without any powder on after the foundation. Next, I just use the Revolution Dewy Skin Mist, just because, again, she is dry, so I want to make sure it's super hydrated. Then I'm using the MEHRON CELEBRE Pro HD foundation. I love this stuff. It's great for dry skin, otherwise really nice mixed in with a matte foundation, gives a gorgeous finish and perfect for like filming or photography. So for concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in Light because, again, she is dry. I want to use products that are really hydrating so that we don't have any like creping or like cracking on the foundation or on the skin, especially when I put powder on top. So for the blush contour kind of pink vibe around the face, I'm using the SNAZAROO face paints. I've got like an 18 colour palette. I'm using this while the foundation's still wet, so I haven't used any powder yet because I'm not sure how it would go over powder. And I'm using like a dry beauty blender just to blend this in, keeping the other sponge that I used previously in my hand so that I can kind of blend the transition from the foundation to the face paint so that it's really seamless. So while we're working on wet foundation, I'm adding some of the Revolution highlighter drops. This one's a light shade, it's the shade Starlight, just on the high point so that it kind of makes our highlight pop. So now on to setting. For under the eyes, I'm using the RCMA No Colour Powder. I tap out the creases with my finger first just to make sure that it's really, really flawless underneath there. To To set the face paint, I'm just using some MAC MELBA blush, just patting it over the top. I'm not going to do much swiping because I don't want to move anything that I've put down, so just really working it in so that everything's nice and set. Now, back to the eyes, I'm using the NYX Full White pencil. I think this is White Smoke. Just really coating that in the inner rim and giving her a break in between. For the lash line, I'm going back to the electric palette and using the shade Slow Burn halfway along. I'm really getting that colour really intense. I do use a different colour on the inner rim, but you can't really tell. Onto the inner part, I use Savage, which is the bright pink from the electric palette. Again, really subtle change, you can't really tell. I wish I would have used like 2 more different colours. On the inner corner, I'm using the Revolution highlighter in the shade Flash. It's kind of like a goldy, greeny colour, really bright. £3, oh my god, such an amazing deal, such a lovely product. I put loads of this on, I spritz my brush with Fix Plus, add some more to make sure that it's really intense. Next, I go into the ZOEVA blush palette. I think this is a shade Coral. I use the 2 bright pink shades just to really intensify the blush contour. And then I go into the Spring Spectrum palette and I use the pinky colour in that just to kind of go over and give a highlight. This is the first of the 4 highlights I'm using. So the next highlight is the Topshop Mother of Pearl highlight. So I'm just popping this in all the same places I put the previous highlight just to really get a glow. I then do a quick spritz of Fix Plus, which you can see she enjoys, not. And then go in with the MAC Reflex Pink Pigment. Again, just going over the same spots. Well, I think I put this one everywhere. And this is going to really make it pop. Because it is a loose shimmer, I did use a Fix Plus to make sure that it sticks and doesn't fall everywhere. The last highlight I use is from the Sleek Solstice palette. I'm using like the icy lilac shade. Again, in pictures this is going to really reflect. I've gone in with a smaller brush this time because I want it to be like more concentrated. So I went off camera and we popped on some mascara and some false lashes. These are the House of Lashes Starlet. And now I'm just applying the ILLAMASQUA pencil in Woo. Over the top, I'm using this Primark glitter lip topper. It's in gold. I love this. I think it was actually £5, which still isn't bad for a lip gloss, but I bought this for my holiday. Back to the SNAZAROO face palette, I'm using a mixture of the pink, white, and there's like a bluey shade in there just to kind of create like a cloudy unicorn vibe on the chest and all up onto the neck. Once that's complete, I'm just using some glitter hairspray that I got from the pound shop just to kind of coat over all that paint to give a glimmer. I then use my phone just to kind of try and show the glitter because it doesn't show up as nice on camera as it did in person. Then I go over with some chunky glitters that I mixed up myself, just mainly along the collarbones, and then I think I just put it everywhere. I use Vaseline to stick all this glitter down, by the way. So then I'm popping some Vaseline around the hairline, then going back in with that glitter that I mixed up, back in with the hairspray, and then with some pink glitter as well. And when you're happy with all the glitter that you added, the look is complete. Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love this look. If anyone recreates it, I don't think they will, but if they do, please tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. I have absolutely loved doing this, so I will definitely do some more. And I'm going to add all like my social network in the down bar.